What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Airport CEO. So in about 6-ish hours, we have a ton of flights arriving. So this episode is going to be trying to work through this and seeing if this day is going to actually be possible. And as it sits right now, I'm pretty worried, I'm not gonna lie. So before our first flights show up, we have a few things that we want to do, and the first thing is we're gonna want to send a lot of our construction crew home because they're done with all of the work that they needed to do. So let's just send those guys out of there. We'll save a bunch of money by doing that, and we can actually start, I think, by maybe fixing all of the taxiways over here since this is ready to go. So the general aviation is going to be going down this runway here as a departure runway. We're going to open that up, and then this one's going to only be for arrivals. Now, when they arrive, they only come down this way, which is a limitation of the game at the moment. And so we don't need them to be connected up to here, really. So what I'm thinking is we'll delete this path, and let's go ahead and do that as we're talking about it. So we'll delete this right here, and I'm thinking most of this can just get deleted here, and that should be fine. I don't think there should be any ill consequences to that, which I guess we'll keep an eye on it. But this should go to here, and then, yes, all of our general aviation flights should come down here and then go up to the stalls that they're going to, take here. So they then have to go ahead and, depart. So we're going to connect this up to here, and I hope that is correct. Now, it needs a hold point, so let's go ahead and set one there. And I think that should be fine. I don't think we really actually have to hook this up down here at the moment, so let's go ahead and just keep that as is. Everything should be okay there. And you know what? Let's go ahead and groom this a little bit, just because in the last episodes we've been trying to deal with all of this. So there's a few leftover points here, and you really want to do this when your airport doesn't have any flights coming in, just because you don't want to screw anything up. Now, I think this is fine to where it is, but I think we're going to actually back it up a little bit here, and going to delete that. I just want to keep these lines looking okay. So that's all good. Let's go ahead and set our holding point and flip that around. So I think this should be a functioning commercial runway where the planes will land and then come down here and get off and then come over to their stalls, and then to depart they'll come up this way and go ahead and leave that way. Everything should be in order here. Again, not really sure. We're gonna have to monitor that. I hope this doesn't have like a weird bottleneck in here, just because we're gonna have planes coming down at pretty much the same time they want to go up. Now, in an ideal world, you would have basically all of the stands in a linear, arrangement, and then planes would come this way, park, and then go that way to leave. Now, in the real world, that's not how it works, so we kind of want to keep, and I guess the way this airport is shaping up to be laid out, it's definitely not going to work like that for us. Now, we may want to do something later on where we open this up a little bit more to have a little bit more space, maybe have like another taxiway system coming down this way to go in here, maybe pull these in or something. Something might need to change at some point. Not really sure, but we'll keep an eye on that. Now, again, we have a ton of flights coming in, and there's a few flights that are going to be showing up at the same time, which hopefully our runway can deal with it. We'll have one plane up in a holding pattern, but they should be okay. I'm just worried if we're going to get a weird crossover where they're going to need to, do their thing, and there's not going to be enough, runway or taxiway real estate out there. We should be okay. We'll monitor that. Let's go ahead. The other thing that we want to pay attention to is our staff. And actually, mentioning staff, a couple of you guys gave me a really good tip, and that was to zone the inside of these as a staff zone so people can't come in here and, stand around on the inside of the baggage carousel areas, which is a great idea. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not sure it's going to fix our passenger can't claim their bag issues, but it's a good start. We'll keep an eye on that to see if that fixes it. We're going to want... How many trucks do we have right now? We have 3 service trucks, 1 jet fuel A1 truck. So I'm thinking we're going to want a few more trucks just because of the sheer amount of planes that we're going to be servicing at the same time. I also want to go in here and adjust this up to 4 ramp agents per side, just give the staff a bit more just to give the baggage bay a bit more staff to then hopefully handle the added capacity of all of this chaos that's about to ensue throughout this day. But let's go over to procurement, and we're going to grab, I think we'll grab 2 of the jet fuel trucks and then 3 of these service trucks. Now, these are very, very cheap in relation to everything else that you can build, so that looks fine. I really wish there was something in this game that tells you how many ideal staff members you have to, you know, have at your airport, because right now it's just a shot in the dark. Now, I'm thinking we're going to want to hire basically all of these ramp agents, and then maybe a whole nother round of ramp agents, and then maybe a few more. $4.3 an hour. Are you just terrible? You are pretty terrible. Okay, we're going to reject your application. I normally don't reject applications, but that one I'm going to reject. That was pretty bad. Let's go ahead and hire a few more of these. I think we're going to be okay with the staff through this airport. Everything should be fine. Hopefully our janitors can cope with the added traffic that we're going to see. Now, let's go ahead and speed the game up. We should get people arriving any moment now, and it looks like our buses are pulling in. That's good. And most of them are going to go over here to do their business. For some reason, it just seems like you show up to the airport and you forgot to go to the bathroom that morning, and that's why the first thing you do is go to the bathroom when you get to the airport. Anyway, we have a bunch of people here, and actually this isn't that many people. We have basically one medium-sized flight worth of people here, which is we've dealt with before. We'll be fine. It's just when we get 2 big flights showing up at once, that's when things are going to get a bit hairy, and we're going to have to deal with that. Everything looks good so far. These contracts that we have here are, I keep clicking on people, but these contracts, like this one, is going to be done in 14 hours. And we're not even going to be close. It's going to be pretty bad. That was my mistake there. This one, we have 3 more days. We may, well, almost 4 more days. We may be able to complete this contract. I'm not sure. Again, it's going to be really dependent on how many people actually show up for these flights. And there's going to be a bunch. It's just how many people are hungry when they show up is, I guess, the question that we have to ask ourselves. And yeah, hopefully a lot of them skipped breakfast or skipped lunch and had to get to the airport straight away. When is our first plane due to land? And it is 5:05 arrival, and it should be, you know, fairly soon here. So we'll see our first big commercial flight coming in. Hopefully it goes this way and then comes down here, and it looks like it's going to. So there we go. And the bigger flights need to go all the way to this one before they can come down. All right, our medium flight is taxiing to its stall here, which is awesome. Now, our staff should be able to cope with this, and it's really weird that these trucks wait until the plane is actually in its stall before they go out. It feels like this plane, or this truck, should have been waiting at least down here somewhere, you know, waiting for this to go, to arrive, and they can just hop right on and jump right into work. A little inefficient there, but it is what it is. I guess the game has its limitations at this point. Now, somebody actually mentioned in the comments that we are not going to be able to expand this fuel depot because of the way we put our service road in here, which is true, but I think if we expand this eventually, we can move the air traffic control tower out to here, which is, it gives everybody a bit more, or it gives the ATC crew a bit more of a, you know, view of both runways, or all 3 runways. And that's probably good. And then if we move that, we then can open up this space to add some actual tanks onto this. Now, I'm wondering if we're going to actually need more fuel in this episode just because of the sheer amount of flights that we have coming in. I don't actually want to request more fuel right now because I want to see how low this turns out by the end of this episode here. So I don't really think we're going to need that much more fuel because, I mean, you look at what this just dumped off at that plane, it really wasn't a much. It was like 400 liters, and that's all they required. So again, I think this is actually a smaller, medium-sized plane. I think they actually come in a larger format, so that's a little scary. But just to think that we're going to have more than like 70 people in the terminal. And actually, the next big flights are going to have, how many? 138 and 75 people here. So, or no, 112 people and 135. I think the green person on the right side of this is the people taking off. The red are the people coming in. So I don't know why I thought that was backwards, but for some reason I did. Anyway, how's our traffic down here? Everything looks pretty good. And yes, we have so many people now waiting for bags and waiting to check in. It's looking good. It's looking like, I don't know why these two stands are open at the same time if everyone's just going to use their one stand here. That's really strange. I feel like that shouldn't be happening, but it is what it is in this game at the moment. We should have a few of the bigger flights coming in soon. They should be arriving at like 7:10, so that is interesting. But our general aviation at this point looks like it's moving very efficiently, which is awesome. Now, I think everything's looking good here. Do we have all of our trucks, you know, servicing these in a nice general or acceptable range? And it looks like we do, I think. Yeah, it's looking good. Let's see what our ratings are. General aviation, it just went down from 17 to 15%. Not sure what that's all about, but our passengers love us right now. Our airlines are very indifferent, and the airport approval rating is 75. I don't know what that means versus passengers. Maybe the other airports. I don't know what that's all about. But I guess when you think about it, the airports are all part of a massive network, you know? I mean, if we have a delay here, it means the next airport is going to have a delay, and it kind of compounds itself over time, I guess. All right, we have so many people about to check into their flight. Let's speed this up a little bit and just kind of monitor this. It's looking like everything's good. We have more than enough security. I was really worried about that. I was really worried to see if we need to get that third one open, but it doesn't look like we do. And an item has broken. What is it? It is a sink. Our service tech will come in and deal with that. And yes, these are still delegated to male and female, which is good. And have we had a passenger can't claim their bag in this episode yet? I don't know. I think the staff zone might be helping. Again, not sure why people stand on the conveyor belts, but I feel like if I put a staff zone over the conveyor belts, they might not be able to grab their bag, which is even a bigger problem, but I'm not really sure. This is all good, it looks like. It looks like it takes way more time for people to go through these queues than it does to, like, get through the actual security, which is, I don't know. We could maybe cut down on these queues by a couple of these rows here, but better safe than sorry. I'm going to be very curious to see what happens when we get, like, 6 of these major airliners into the airport at the same time. Everything is moving very smoothly, and of course we get the dreaded passenger cannot claim their bag. It's unfortunate, but it looks like we got a couple of them. But yeah, I don't really know how to fix that. I'm thinking, though, maybe we want to upgrade this runway at some point. Do we want to do that right now? It is $60,000. You know what? Let's hold off on that. It looks like the splitting of the workload between the two runways is going to be really good for us. And I also think if you have a COO, I believe, they will automatically repair things when they get down to like a 10% condition level, which is interesting. Again, passenger cannot claim their bag. But you know what? I think right now what we want to do maybe is, since we have the money, and we have a lot of money rolling in at this point, which is awesome, I'm thinking we're going to want to appease some of you guys and go ahead and pave some of our taxiways. So yes, we'll start just kind of going down here, and we do not need construction workers for this, which is curious. It's kind of nice, I guess, because it is instantaneous, but I feel like you should need some construction workers for this kind of work. But I really don't want to go overboard here in paving this just yet, but I do want to get this looking good. So this, just having this done, looks better than having the weird patchiness that we had. Let's pave this all the way down to here. Now this is $9,000. We have $39,000 coming out. Do we want to pave this? And I know some of you are probably yelling yes, but we cannot. So yeah, this is why I haven't been paving things. It costs so much money as opposed to the, what? I think it's like, it's twice as much. It's twice as much to put actual paved stuff throughout this than it is to put the grass. Now, that was very weird, and I think I just wasted a bunch of money because I think I just relayed down grass over that, which is unfortunate. Do we have enough money to do this? $29,000? I'm thinking yes. This is a pretty good chunk up here taken care of, though, and I think we're going to hold off on the rest of it for now. It's really good that we started doing the paving down here, and I think it's just as we get money. And it looks like we should be getting plenty of money because, I mean, let's face it, we have tons of flights moving in here. At some point, we're going to have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flights all at the same time at the airport. That's going to be very interesting to watch, and hopefully we'll be fine with that. How are our shops doing right now? This one has only gone up about 100 sales, so yes, definitely not going to be hitting that mark. This one, yeah, I don't know. We got 3 days left on it, and we only need 1,600 sales. And I say only, but yeah, that is a lot of sales. And it's very strange. It is very strange. We don't seem to have a lot of people coming over to here. Now, I did get a comment that said shops outside of the secure zone actually function a little bit better. Very curious, and it might be a good idea to put like a food stall down here because of all of these people coming off of their plane and just waiting for their baggage. So instead of like coming in here and getting food, they're just going straight for the baggage claim, and they have to wait quite a while. So I'm thinking maybe a food shop down here is a good idea. Should we try that? I think we should. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's build that out right now. And as we're just kind of waiting for our chaotic day to be honest, it hasn't been very chaotic. Yes. So this will then be our shops. Now we're gonna actually have to go ahead and hire a couple more or not hire, but bring back a few of our construction workers. And should we get 10? Let's just get 10 in here. That's fine, because otherwise that will never get built. Now, the reason I built this like this is because we'll put walls here and here, and then we can think about releasing this as a large door and then having a path that goes out to here. So this whole sidewalk situation will get then connected back up, and then all of the people coming out of the baggage claim will, or they can at least, just go straight out here. What has just broken? Another bathroom item has broken. That's unfortunate, but our service techs are on it. Our bathrooms are pretty disgusting. I do not know what this person ate, but this is absolutely filthy. Didn't even come close to the toilet bowl. Come on, just gotta aim a little bit. And I think this is the ladies' room. It is. So, ladies, you're just as gross as we are. Don't try to hide it. I know it. Anyway, we have a person still can't claim their bag. How is everything doing over here? Is this, I think this plane just got in. This plane is just getting in as well. But it looks like we have enough staff to keep up at this point. Now, the big test is going to come in about 2 hours. So we'll see if the staff will be able to cope with all of this. Our general aviation is filling up once again, and that might not be good. And some of these planes aren't requesting anything, and it's looking like most of them that are here are fulfilled. So this one is actually requesting fuel, and obviously the one that just came in is requesting fuel as well. Do we want to get one more of the avgas fuel trucks? I think right now, sure, why not? It really doesn't cost that much, and we are making a ton of money right now, so this is really awesome. So let's go ahead and grab, you know what, we'll grab 2 more of these. Why not? How is our fuel in the depot? This one is actually out. This one is full, but we do have to delete this. So let's go ahead and delete this and then delete that. Now, just because of that, I think we want to go in here and actually request extra fuel. It only costs $1,000. We have so many people right now in the unsecured zone. How are we doing in the secure zone? Honestly, there is a lot. Now, I'm wondering if in the future, if this game is gonna have flights that are like connecting flights, you know? So like this plane's just coming in. It'd be really interesting to know if somebody getting off of this plane was needing to go over to here. Like they have a layover and they come off this plane and go straight onto this plane. Now in real airports, that happens all the time. But in the game right now, it seems like everybody gets off the plane and just leaves. And then everybody new just gets on the planes and goes through your security. Again, in the future, the connecting flights would be interesting. And mostly because it would have a lot more people in your secure zone at any given point. And they will be able to go into your shops and buy food and stuff. So Yes, we really have only gained like 200 sales before this, or during this episode. This shop really, I mean, nothing's going on here. I'm not sure if their prices are just too high or if no one needs to get a whatever's in here, which looks like newspapers, and I thought those were shirts, but I think they're just like pamphlets. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out what's going on down here. Now, our construction workers are going ahead with all of the construction here. Let's go ahead and delete these walls real fast and then put these walls in like this and this. And then we're going to want to delete this wall as well. I'm thinking maybe we wanted to get a couple more construction workers, but I guess this is fine for now. Can we put a wall here? No, and that's very unfortunate because now this is askew, but it's not that bad. I'm sure we could do something with the shop in here to see if we can make that look kind of cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing what that shop is going to turn out in terms of sales. And we're going to... You can break these things? Oh my. So, I don't know who's been jumping on our seats over here, but it is the small aircraft area, and I guess it's so far away from security that people can just do whatever they want. But our service tech will get up to it right away and fix it. And this is a ramp agent, so they shouldn't be coming in here. Now, we do have 4 of our ramp agents per side, and it looks like everyone's coping relatively nicely. And look at this. We are a full airport at this point, which is really awesome to see. Look at all of the trucks doing their work. All of our service trucks are pulling in and getting the bags. Do we have enough ramp agents at this point? Let's go ahead and pause the game real fast and check that, because honestly, I don't think we do. We have no ramp agents left in here. We have plenty of airport staff, which is very curious. We could probably let a few of these guys go, but that's something for another time, because right now I'm thinking we want to hire a few more of these ramp agents just because there are so many planes in right now. Let's go ahead and grab just a few. No applicants. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and just hire them all. All of them. All of them. None of them look that bad, so I'm confident in our hire there. So it's looking like we're okay, and hopefully they show up quick enough to service all of these planes. Yeah, we have a few avgas trucks here. So yeah, we should not have any problems with the avgas from here on out unless we start adding stalls, which is something we could start doing, I think. I think this whole situation is really nice. Okay, we have a flight actually running late. Let's delay it by an hour, and it's SL820. Which one are you? So this flight is running late, and it's because somebody is not boarding, which is very interesting. Why is that happening? It's weird that they would wait. Oh, there he is. Who are you? You are Hoang Pham. I may have completely botched that, but he's from Vietnam and apparently doesn't know to be on your plane on time. I feel like some planes will give you a little bit of time, but I feel like if you miss the boarding time and you miss the arrival time or the departure time, you're out of luck. They have already taken off, but we just delayed a plane for one person. That's interesting. Anyway, everything is running smooth, and our service trucks are swooping in and out with lightning speed, and it was really good idea to get what, 6 of these total, and they are doing what they need to do, and this is awesome. We have just enough staff here to deal with our capacity, and eventually this is going to get a lot easier on our staff and everything, because eventually we're going to have 3 baggage bays up here, and the one on the far right is going to handle these 3 stalls down at the bottom here. The middle one is going to handle these 2 stalls that are the smaller stalls. They're also going to handle 2 stalls over here, which are going to be the smaller stalls. And then the third one is going to be the other large or medium bays, which is going to be very, very interesting. I'm really, really excited to see how that all pans out. But we're working through this day, and it's looking like our airport is very, very competent. I mean, we really have only had 1 delay so far, and that was because one person decided to grab a pastry instead of heading straight for their plane, so not my fault. And, yeah, I think everything's looking good. I am very curious to see how this shop is going to pan out, but I think I'm going to hold off on doing that until the next episode. So I think this is probably a pretty good place to leave this. Now, in the next episode, I think we can probably start to expand the airport a little bit more. We'll actually go in and put a couple more stalls in here. We'll start really ramping up the amount of flights that we can take in, because we've now proven that we can handle this many flights at a time. It's very impressive. I am very, very impressed at how everything is working. This airport is so efficient. It is really awesome. But guys, I think that's going to be it. So if you like this episode, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you disliked it, thumbs down, of course. And guys, I will see you in the next episode of Airport CEO.